On this 50-point inspection, I have Iron Galaxy from Modestman Brewing out of Keene, New Hampshire. Iron Galaxy is an 8.5% ABV double IPA with a single hop of Galaxy. So, it's pretty much the can art there. Let's go ahead and start this inspection. Alright, so the head is very tight, compact, white bubbles, frothy-ish, kind of frothy on top. Color of the beer is it's an orange, a light shade of orange with a nice hazy, murky appearance. Opaque, cannot see through it. The aromas, getting a kind of like a tangerine to orange type aroma. A little bit sweet. Bit of apricot in there. A little bit of breadiness from the malt. Well, smells nice. A little bit of that malt in there. It's got that nice kind of citrus orange. Maybe a touch of grapefruit, but there is definite sweet apricot aroma as well. This one smells a little bit sweet. And let's go ahead and dive in for the first swig, so cheers. So it's definitely a medium body with a medium carbonation. Nice, creamy, smooth mouthfeel to this one. Besides that carbonation, it's got those little pinpricks going on the tongue, but the body itself feels creamy and smooth. Nice citrusy notes. A bit of orange on the orange side, maybe a little bit of like an orange zestiness. Say a touch of that apricot in there as well. Malt, slight white bread, a bit of an oaty type flavor, maybe a little bit grassy. Bitterness, it's moderate bitterness to this one. It is kind of a bit of a tropical and citrus, bit of a rind or a pith type bitterness from some type of citrus fruit, kind of pushing towards orange. There is a flavor of like apricot that kind of comes up mid palate, goes till the bittering finish. It's not as sweet as it was on the aromas, so no real sweetness to this one, but it is staying kind of citrusy, a little bit tropical there, and apricot like as well. 8.5% ABV. No, I'd say it's fairly well hidden. I think the bitterness actually, as it lingers on, starts to get a little bit piney. Yeah, maybe a slight bit of warming going on in the chest, but not bad. And let's go ahead and give this one a score. So we got nice appearance to this one, 6 out of 6. The aromas, pretty nice aromas in this. I think I was picking out quite a bit. It does smell nice. I liked that kind of candied apricot note as well. A little bit of sweetness to the aromas. It's not the largest output of aromatics that I've ever smelt in a New England IPA. There's definitely been ones that have been extreme, like bombs when it comes to the aromatics just flying out. But I mean, you're smelling them when you get down in there, and they're giving off some nice notes. So I am going to give this one the 10 out of 10 for the aromatics. It's nice. Even get a little bit of that kind of malt presence in there, that little bit of breadiness. On the flavors for this one, the malt's a little bit weird. It kind of like it gives off that kind of grassy note. The bread itself is more like a white bread. It's very faint, not as much on the palate with the malt as in the aromatics, as far as being, I don't know, sweeter. When you get into the kind of grassy hay-like thing, it's kind of a moot. But the hops, fairly decent. Just wish that kind of sweet apricot was on the palate. This is just more of an apricot that's not sweet, but there's this apricot flavor that kind of comes through. I did start to get a little bit of a grapefruit as well, kind of on the tail end there. Like I said, going into a bitterness of like this rindy citrus fruit, a bit piney as well, kind of as it lingers on. Starts to get a little bit on the piney side. I said moderate bitterness, but I mean, as I'm drinking on this one, and as this bitterness keeps going on, it is kind of climbing a bit. So it might be a little bit beyond the mid-range on the bitterness. So overall, for the flavors, I'm going to give this a 14 out of 19. The body on it's nice. It's a medium body. It's creamy, soft. I like that. Even with that carbonation, it does give you little prickles on the tongue. It still works well. 5 out of 5 for the body. My overall for this one, it's decent. It's definitely not the greatest, but it's up there as far as being a pretty standout double New England IPA. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for my overall. So for Iron Galaxy from Modestman Brewing, it's going to get a BuMpY 42 out of 50, which is going to land this as a very good beer. So just want to say cheers. Thank you all for watching.